Good morning. This is Pastor Heather, and I wanted to share a children's message for you this morning. So if your kids are in the other room or not paying attention, come closer to the screen. And I want to talk about something. You might recognize that I'm in my son's room right now. This is where I've been taping our weekly story times on Facebook Live. Last night I shared a movie clip on our Facebook page from a movie called Inside Out. It's a Pixar film, and it's a favorite around my household. You can watch it on Disney Plus if you have that streaming service. And it's a great lesson about our emotions. So if you haven't seen the film before, I wanted to share who these characters are. The main character in the movie is a little girl named Riley, and she's going through a big change in her life. And so we get to see inside of her mind, and we see Joy, who pretty much runs the show for Riley. She feels a lot of joy a lot of times, but also fear and anger and sadness and disgust. And we see how these emotions all live in her mind and how they are part of how she interacts with the world. And so if you watch that clip that I put on Facebook earlier, you'll see a scene where something really sad happens to a character, and Joy doesn't really know what to do. Joy's response is to tickle him or make him laugh, and it just doesn't make him feel any better. Whereas sadness really does know what to do. When she just sits down next to him and she says, "That's tough. That's really sad." And she listens to him. And that's what helps him get through a loss that he's just had. And so the great lesson, I think, in this movie, in that scene and throughout the movie, is that sometimes when things are really tough and we're going through a lot of difficulty, we might turn to joy, and we might pretend like everything is okay and make the best out of situations. But it's really good and really important to acknowledge that as we're in our homes, as we're seeing things shut down and canceled, we might be angry. Especially if everybody in your house is driving each other nuts, you might be angry. Or you might be scared that your family might get sick or what might happen. You might be sad because you can't go spend time with your friends. And an important lesson is that you can feel however you need to feel. You don't have to pretend to feel better than you really are. You can be honest with your family, and I encourage you to spend some time this week talking about your feelings, maybe even watching this movie if you have access to it, and recognizing that a major point in the story is that there was a time when the main character Riley felt sad, and she shared how she was really feeling, and because she felt sad, her parents hugged her, and they said, "We feel sad too," and there was joy in that time together of being sad together. So I want to let you know that however you're feeling while we're all in quarantine, while we're all waiting to see what happens next and trying to survive the day and the week, you can feel however you want to feel. And know that the most important thing is just to be honest about your feelings and to share your feelings with other people, because ultimately that leads to a real joy that we can't quite understand, but we're happy to receive. Nice to spend time with you kids this morning, and I pray for all of these feelings, and maybe especially for joy, to be with you today. Goodbye.